Hi guys, welcome to the new video. I just had to make today's video to clear up once for all the differences between Persian, Arabic and Turkish. In fact, I should have made this video sooner to save myself from a lot of controversial comments. When a language learner like me says that it might be easier to learn a language such as Turkish because it has many loanwords from the languages I know like Arabic and Persian, it doesn't mean that I consider them to be the same language. Think about how English and French or Chinese and Japanese share many words due to their historical, geographical closeness and cultural interaction, but they are not even from the same language family. It's the same case with Persian, Arabic, and Turkish. When countries and cultures have been brushing shoulders over centuries, trading, mixing, and influencing each other, their languages are bound to pick up elements from one another. But each language, whether it's Persian, Arabic, or Turkish, stands out with its own identity. So in today's video, we are going to compare these three languages in depth, from their writing systems and pronunciation to vocabulary and grammar, to give you an overview to see how similar and how different they are. If you are a language learner and wondering which is more difficult to learn, this video might give you some ideas. So let's get into the video. Let's be clear that each of these languages comes from a different family tree. Persian comes from the Indo-Iranian family tree, which is a subgroup of the Indo-European tree. Other languages that share the same families like Hindi and Sanskrit is traced back to Old Persian, evidenced in inscriptions from the Achaemenid Empire. However, this version of Persian itself evolved from earlier Indo-Iranian languages, indicating a much older linguistic history. While Arabic is a Semitic language, other languages that come from the same family tree are Aramaic and Hebrew. Its earliest inscriptions date back to the 1st century CE, but the language likely evolved from earlier Semitic dialects long before these records. The advent of Islam in the 7th century and the consequent spread of the Quran played a significant role in standardizing and spreading classical Arabic. Turkish comes from the Turkic family group. Some of the languages that come from the same group are Azerbaijani and Kazakh. Some linguists and historians debate the idea that Turkic comes from the Altaic language family, but until this day, it's just a theory. The earliest known stage of the Turkic language, Old Turkic, was spoken by the Gurturks and Uyghurs. Its earliest known examples are found in Orkan inscriptions from the 8th century CE in Mongolia. However, these inscriptions represent already developed language forms, suggesting that the origins of spoken Turkish precede these inscriptions by centuries. So the debate over the precise beginnings of these languages continues. We can see that archaeological findings just provide snapshots of a language at the particular point of its evolution. Now we can see the writing system of these three languages looks like this. Some of you might not know that the Turkish language used the Arabic alphabet previously. The Old Turkic alphabet was primarily used by Turkic tribes in Central Asia and Siberia. With the spread of Islam among Turkic tribes, the Arabic script was adopted. The Ottoman Turkish language, which was used in Ottoman Empire, was written in a version of the Arabic script. This script had several modifications to accommodate Turkish phonology, including additional letters. In 1928, under Atatürk's reforms, Turkey adopted the Latin alphabet, marking a significant shift. Now the Turkish writing system is based on the Latin alphabet, consisting of 29 letters written from left to right, each representing a specific sound. Turkish does not include diacritic marks for vowels. Instead, each vowel has its own letter. When it comes to Persian and Arabic, they use the same script, but they are not really the same. Persian, originally written in Pahlavi script, derived from Aramaic, adopted the Arabic script following the Islamic conquest of Persia in the 7th century, creating a unique Persian variant of the script. Nowadays, the Persian alphabet consists of 32 letters based on the Arabic script. The script has been modified to match the authentic Persian sounds. Persian and Turkish have adopted some Arabic sounds. For example, the Persian qa in qalam, meaning pen, and Turkish ch in çay are influenced by Arabic. Turkish pronunciation has distinct characteristics that set it apart from both Arabic and Persian. Turkish features vowel harmony, where the vowels in a word must harmonize in terms of frontness, backness, and roundness. There are 8 vowels in Turkish, and they are divided into 2 groups: front vowels e, I, Ö, Ü, and back vowels a, Ö, O, U. Words are constructed in a way that maintains this harmony. For example, in the word kapı, both vowels a and Ö are back vowels. Güzel, beautiful, both vowels Ü and E are front vowels, but Arabic and Persian don't have vowel harmony. Guttural, pharyngeal, and emphatic sounds are common in Arabic. For example, features sound like the deep ha in hub, and the emphatic sod in sahara, and the throaty ay in Arabic. There isn't this kind of a sound in Turkish. Persian, while it has some Arabic influence sound, it typically softens them. For example, hub is less throaty than in Arabic. Turkish and Persian don't differentiate meaning through vowel length. Arabic has long and short vowels which can change the meaning of a word, like kataba, he wrote, versus kitab, book. If you are a speaker of one of these languages and want to learn another, you might find it easier to gain vocabulary due to the loan words. However, you still need to pay attention to the differences in pronunciation. Even though Persian and Arabic share the same alphabet, the way some letters are pronounced can be very different. This is especially true for the emphatic and pharyngeal sounds like sod in Arabic, sa in Persian, ha in Arabic, ha in Persian, ayin in Arabic, in Persian. I first learned Arabic, then Turkish and Persian. I tended to pronounce words in the Arabic way, which sometimes led to misunderstandings. The exact number of loan words that exist in every language is very hard to estimate due to the dynamic nature of language growth. However, Arabic had the biggest influence with the spread of Islam. Persian and Turkish contain loan words from Arabic, especially in religious, scientific, administrative, and scholarly domains. Here are some examples of the Arabic origin words in Persian and Turkish. Coffee, Arabic, kahve, Persian, kahve, Turkish, kahve. Book, kitab, Persian, kitab, Turkish, kitab. Science, Arabic, ilm, Persian, ilm, Turkish, ilm. Travel or journey, Arabic, safar, Persian, safar, Turkish, sefer. An interesting fact, the English word coffee comes from the Dutch coffee, which they borrowed from the Ottoman Turkish kahve. Kahve in turn was borrowed from the Arabic kahva, which originally referred to a type of wine and later came to mean coffee. The origins of kahva are not entirely clear, but it's believed to have come from the Kaffa region of Ethiopia, where coffee plants were first discovered. During the Islamic Golden Age, from 8th to 14th centuries, Persian has been a lingua franca in a large part of the Islamic world, especially during the times of Persian Empire and later under various Islamic dynasties. It was a language of the court and of literature. This historical role is why Persian has contributed significantly to the vocabulary of many languages, including Turkish, Arabic, Urdu, and even Hindi. We can see that the Turkish language has absorbed numerous words from Persian, reflecting a rich culture and linguistic exchange. For instance, kağıt, paper in Turkish, comes from Persian kağıt. Architectural terms like pencere in Turkish, panjare in Persian, and saray in Turkish, from saray in Persian. Persian literature and poetry, much of it in collaboration with Arabic, led to a cross-pollination of linguistic elements. Many Persian words found their way into Arabic, especially during the Abbasid Caliphate, which was culturally and politically influenced by Persian traditions. Words like dost, friend in Persian, influenced the colloquial Arabic dus, friends. From the 14th to the early 20th century, the Ottoman Empire was a melting pot of cultures and languages. It included Arabic-speaking regions and had a significant Persian culture and administrative influence. Ottoman Turkish also left its mark primarily through the administrative, military, and cultural terms. Words like Pasha, a ranking Ottoman political and military systems, found their way into both Persian and Arabic. During the early 20th century, both Turkey and Iran underwent significant language changes as part of their national reforms. In Turkey, under Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, the language reform of the 1920s and 1930s aimed to modernize and westernize the country. These included changing from the Arabic script to the Latin alphabet and replacing many Arabic, as we mentioned before, and Persian loanwords in Turkish. Similarly, in Iran during the Pahlavi dynasty, there was a movement to re-Persianize the language. This involved removing many Arabic words from Persian and reviving older Persian terms, part of a broader effort to strengthen Iranian national identity and reconnect with Iran's pre-Islamic heritage. Even with a large number of loanwords, each language still has its own unique vocabulary. When it comes to grammar, the differences become more distinct since each language belongs to different families and have different roots. One of the biggest differences, the grammar and sentence structure of Turkish are quite different from Arabic and Persian, especially due to its agglutinative nature, where suffixes are attached to a base word to modify its meaning. For example, base word ev, house, with suffix evler, houses, pluralization by adding ler, further suffix evlerde in the houses, locative case by adding de. There is an agglutinative nature in Arabic and Persian, but languages like Japanese, Korean, Finnish, and Hungarian are agglutinative. The second big difference is the word order in sentence structure. Let me illustrate the different sentence structure of these three languages in the same sentence. Sentence: I'm watching a video. In modern standard Arabic, sentence structure VSO, verb, subject, object, but SVO can also be used in modern context. We say Ana ashahidu video. In Persian, the typical sentence structure is SOV, subject, object, and verb. So we say man video tamasha mikonan. In Turkish, typical sentence structure is SOV, subject, object, and verb. So we say ben bir video izliyorum. Or we can just say bir video izliyorum. Even the Persian and Turkish have a similar word order. The agglutinative nature of a Turkish verb conjugation makes it different. Turkish verbs are conjugated by attaching various suffixes to the verb root. These suffixes indicate tense, aspect, mood, and person. For example, to say I'm reading a book in Turkish, ben bir kitap okuyorum. The verb is okumak, to read. The verb is conjugated by adding uyorum for the first person singular present continuous tense. There is also vowel harmony in U and U. Arabic uses a root and pattern system where verbs are formed by inserting vowels and sometimes consonants around a set of root consonants that carry the basic meaning. Prefixes and suffixes are used for tense and person. For example, Ana aqra'u kitaban. A first person singular. Qara present tense. Prefixed. Root for read. Kitaban, a book, in accusative case. Persian verbs are conjugated by adding prefixes and suffixes to the verb stem. For example, man daram kitab mikhunan. Man, I. Daram, auxiliary verb used to form continuous tense. Kitab, book. Mikhunan, I am reading. Mi is the present continuous. Khom, am is stem for read. for the first person singular. Another big difference is the noun cases. Turkish uses a variety of suffixes to indicate different cases for nouns. Example, nominative ev, house, accusative evi, the house as a direct object, dative eve, to the house, genitive evin, of the house, locative evde, in or at the house, ablative evden, from the house. Persian doesn't use noun cases, instead it uses prepositions and a fixed word order. For example, khune means house. To indicate different relationships, Persian uses prepositions. To the house, be khune, in the house, dar khune, from the house, as khune. Classical and modern Standard Arabic feature a case system with nominative, accusative, and genitive cases marked by vowel endings. For example, nominative baytun, house as a subject of a sentence. Accusative baytan, a house as a direct object. Genitive baytin, of a house, is a possessive construction. Turkish pluralization is generally formed with the suffix ler or lar. For example, çocuk, çocuklar, girl, girler. Persian use ha for regular plurals, but some words have irregular plural forms, but it's very rare. For example, pencere, window, pencere-ha becomes windows. Arabic has sound and broken plural, regular and irregular plurals. The broken plural system is particularly complex and diverse. Sound plurals, for example, madrasa means school, madaris means schools. Broken plurals becomes beit, house, buyut becomes houses, kitab, a book, kutub, books. From my personal experience as a language learner, Arabic grammar is much more complex and difficult. You have to memorize a lot of unique roots and patterns. The verb conjugations aren't just about adding a suffix, but involved internal verb changes, and the challenging broken plural system requires us to memorize many patterns. Additionally, there's the Arabic noun case system and the need for gender and number agreement. So if I had to rank the difficulty of these grammars, Arabic would definitely be the first due to its complexity. The second would be Turkish because of its agglutinative nature, which can be challenging, especially for speakers who aren't used to this system. Persian grammar, on the other hand, is relatively easy, but comparing difficulties in other aspects, Persian and Arabic share the same script, abjad, where vowels are not typically written. This characteristic is a big challenge in correct reading and pronunciation, as the reader must infer the appropriate vowels from context. On the other hand, Turkish might be easier to start for those who know the Latin alphabet. You don't need to learn a new writing system, and it's also easy to read. Furthermore, the pronunciation for Turkish is largely phonemic, which facilitates easier reading and pronunciation for learners. For pronunciation, I rank Arabic as the most challenging because of the emphatic and pharyngeal sound. Persian and Turkish, I would say they are about equal in terms of pronunciation difficulty. In terms of vocabulary, sure, they share a lot of loan words, but each language also has a ton of unique vocabulary. However, knowing one of these languages definitely gives you a leg in picking up words in the others. When it comes to speaking, there's a pretty big gap with Arabic and its dialect. You learn modern standard Arabic, MSA, in school, but then you realize that people in daily life speak in different dialects. It's like you've put all this effort into learning MSA and then find out that it's not spoken on the street. So I would rank Arabic the most difficult. Turkish is a different story. What you learn from a textbook is pretty much how people actually talk in real life. Sure, there are various accents across Turkey, but there's still a standard form of Turkish that most speakers use. Persian also has its standard form and is a bit different from, say, the Teherani accent, but the differences isn't as stark as between MSA and Lebanese dialect and Moroccan Arabic. But don't forget, Persian has other accents too, like Dari in Afghanistan and Tajik in Tajikistan. These can have their own variations you might need to get used to. This difficulty assessment is based on my personal experience. As with all my language comparison videos, the difficulty level can vary depending on your mother tongue, the languages you know, and your interest in the language. As you can see, these three languages have influenced each other during their historical interactions. In my opinion, it's not suitable to argue about different languages in terms of being better or worse. Languages exist first for communication. There's no such thing as good or bad, better or worse. Even the difficulty level varies based on many different factors. After all, languages enriches our world and no one is above the other. As Ever Sapir said, language is the most massive and inclusive art we know, a mountainous and anonymous work of unconscious generations. I hope you enjoyed today's video and that it cleared up some misunderstandings about these languages. If you want to learn Arabic and Persian, you can check out these detailed guide videos. I will also be making a video on learning Turkish very soon. If you want to add anything, please share in a comment. See you in the next one and bye!